Welcome back, everyone. Well, you know, right up in Warren County, we're really lucky. We have SUNY Adirondack up there. It never ceases to amaze us of all the kinds of interesting things that they do, undergraduate, graduate, continuing education, you name it. And lo and behold, we found out about a very interesting course that they're offering up there. And we decided to have Kaylin Prylo back, who's the Director of Continuing Education at SUNY, to sort of give us a briefer on continuing ed. And then we've got Frank Burns, who's the instructor for a course that you got to hear about. So, Kaylin, welcome. Nice to have you back.
Thanks for having us, Jesse.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good to be here.
Let's talk a bit about the continuing ed program at SUNY Adirondack.
Sure. The Office of Continuing Education at SUNY Adirondack is a great place. We're dedicated to meeting the personal and professional learning needs of our community, and we offer classes year-round at our Queensbury campus, at Wilton Center, and at a variety of businesses throughout the region.
I know, and the last time you were on and we were talking about continuing ed, the one phrase that I remembered was 8 to 80.
You got it.
You know, you could be 8 years old and you probably have some interest that you'd like to do some continuing ed for. And when you get to be 80, my age, you pretty much decide that there may be another career you'd like to learn. And it's really true, right? 8 to 80.
Certainly. Our office offers programs in youth enrichment. Our very popular summer enrichment program is enrolling right now for this summer.
Right.
And we offer personal enrichment and community outreach courses and things like our very popular senior lecture series, part of our Never Stop Learning programs.
That's a wonderful program.
Yeah, it also includes some walking tours that we have coming up as well. So we're enrolling for those courses right now. Space is limited. And then workforce and professional development courses. And as I mentioned, we do those at a variety of businesses throughout the region. And we also offer them right on campus, like our ServSafe certification course, which we'll be talking about today.
What a nice lead-in. That was perfect. Frank, you're up.
She did it well. She did it well.
Frank joined us today because of this course, which is called ServSafe, right? Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
Okay. And that's a very unique course. Frank, why don't you just give me a descriptor on this course and then we'll dig into it.
Okay. ServSafe Food Handler Certification is a program that was developed by the National Restaurant Association a number of years ago. And the intent was to try to teach the industry safe ways of handling food, so again, so that people wouldn't get sick. If you kind of look at some of the statistics that the CDC put out a couple of years ago, it's been estimated that 75 million Americans come down with a foodborne illness, 300,000 end up in the emergency room, and on an average year, 5,000 people will die.
Wow.
So this program here was a way to try to teach the industry how to handle food safely in restaurants. Here in New York State alone, we have 45,000 licensed establishments. So again, this is a way in which to try to teach restaurateurs or operators, food handlers, depending upon what segment of the industry that you're in, how to deal with these situations. So in the course itself, it's a 10-hour course that requires an exam at the end of the day, and you have to get a 75 on the test, and the certifications are good for 3 years. But some of the things that we kind of look at, you know, we talk about time and temperature abuse, which is a big issue. You know, what temperatures do you hold food at? What temperatures do you hold cold food at? You know, when's bacteria really kind of growing rapidly? You know, we look at cross-contamination because all too often it's not uncommon to see someone cutting raw chickens and then cutting lettuce on the same cutting board.
Right,
you know, and what's the potential for happening there? You know, we talk about personal hygiene. How often should you wash your hands? You know, how often should you clean the slicer? All right, and then we kind of look at, you know, the difference between cleaning and sanitizing. A lot of people get a little confused. You know, cleaning is kind of removing a surface dirt, you know, and sanitizing it's kind of reducing pathogens to safe levels. So we spend the bulk of the day of the class kind of talking about these issues, and we kind of get in depth about it so that people have a better understanding of all the ways that they can make people sick.
Well, you know what? And I'm sure you've heard that. I forget exactly what the cliche or the joke is, but they always say, you know, if you really want to know what a restaurant is about, go in the kitchen. And sometimes, I imagine you've seen it all, haven't you?
I think I've seen it all. And again, you know, I give a lot of credit to those hospitality organizations that welcome people to come and visit their kitchens.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. I want to cycle back on a couple of these things. You know, the restaurant business, you know, how many of us have always wanted to be a bartender? You know, waiting tables is fun. I think a lot of us could lay claim to the fact that we waited tables and worked in a kitchen and stuff like that. But, you know, those kinds of careers are one thing. But, you know, you wouldn't automatically think about this category. And all of a sudden, I want to cycle back, time and temperature abuse, cross-contamination, hygiene, sanitize, any of the illnesses attached. These are all very, very important issues to be addressed if you're in this industry.
Sure. I mean, if you had a foodborne outbreak in your restaurant, what's the chances of you being around after
Yeah,
the
right.
press gets a hold of that?
Right, sure.
Or Yelp.com.
Yeah, Yelp.com or TripAdvisor. I mean, they'll put you out of business in no time. So it's really important that, you know, not only the owners and managers, but the staff people, the hourly employees understand how important and how significant this is and how easy it is to get somebody sick.
Boy, well, it's true. And as part of, and it's also a growth industry too. I think we were talking before we went on air. It's one of the biggest. I mean, Saratoga, God, there's a lot of restaurants. There's over 140 or something.
About 146 the last
Yeah,
time I counted.
wow. And Glens
And
Falls has
growing.
got some great new restaurants, and they're scattered all about in Saratoga, Warren, and Washington County. It really is a growth industry. So if you're looking for a career, if you're looking for continuing education or changing a career or something, what a great option this is, right?
Here in New
Yeah.
York State, we have about 800,000 people working in the hospitality business.
Right, I've got you.
A big part
go
of
ahead.
what we do is having to keep on top of employment and workforce trends. And the Department of Labor indicates that in the Capital Region alone, food service industry type positions have at least a 12% estimated growth up to 2020. It is obviously, as you mentioned, hospitality and food service is a very large industry in this area, but it is also one that is growing.
Well, you know, hats off to you. Those of us that remember that SUNY Adirondack used to be Adirondack Community College. Well, you always put the word community in there. You really do, in terms of what you offer up there, but also in terms of continuing education, 8 to 80. You know, it's really remarkable, the things that you offer. I just want to end on one other thing because Kaylin mentioned just briefly that they're enrolling now for the summer enrichment program.
That's correct.
Keep an eye in your mailbox. I think you might be getting one of these, right?
Very likely, and if you haven't received one of those, we are going to be holding a summer camp fair at our Wilton Center campus on
Great.
April 19th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Of course, our summer enrichment programs will be highlighted in a STEAM program that we're running with BOCES, but other area camps will also be in
Right.
attendance there.
Well, Kaylin, thank you very much for coming in. Frank, nice to meet you. Thanks for
Likewise,
coming
Jess.
in.
Appreciate it.
And for more information, you can go to their website. Keep your eye out in the mail, especially the summer enrichment program for kids is really pretty extensive, right? Okay, we got it. To see this interview again, head to our website, looktvonline.com.